All right, welcome back to the Safety Net. We're in game number 1 of the winner's match. A best of 3 ZVP in front of you all. Spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map. He used to once upon a time be on Root Gaming, but kind of been on his own since he went to Korea. It's the green Protoss State.
Neighbor right as the yellow Zerg. It's Root Catz.
I'm a little sad that Prime didn't work out so well for State. I was really stoked when I heard he had actually joined in and he's gonna do, like, Pro League and all these other things, but then that kind of fell apart. I know he stayed at the Axiom House for a while, and I'm not sure where he's living now. I know it's not in the Axiom House anymore, but State has had a lot of really cool opportunities in Korea over the last few months, and a lot of opportunities to improve his playstyles. I'm not at all surprised he wound up in the winner's match.
Well, I don't know. I kind of am. Not the second game was whatever, but that first game versus Jon Snow. Aren't you still angry over that?
I tried. You know what? I had forgotten about it. I had tried so hard and I managed to, but now that you brought it up, it's like repressed memories.
I'm sorry. No, but like, you would go into this and I think say like, cool. Of course, Catz has something cool, but that State would probably get out of here. But then Jon Snow played it so well. It was, I think it was surprising.
It's so funny analyzing someone like Catz. You give majority of Korean players and you look at what is, like, quote unquote standard gameplay and what's to be expected, what's right versus wrong. You look at Catz though, he does everything that you wouldn't expect. And I don't mean like going for the gold, but like the fact that he's gonna go for this gold and he might push it with creep, or he might knock down these rocks and secure a gold base with something weird behind it. A roach push, I don't know, but it's Catz, and that's what I love. You look at him versus his Terran, it was so bad for a while, and he went so try-hard, he stopped the cool tactics, and he went with standard play, and he managed to beat Terran MMA, then Taiga, of course, here today. But then versus Protoss, all of a sudden, it's back to good old Catz, right?
Yeah, I was trying to think of why that would be, right? Like, Zerg kind of has problems dealing with weird stuff because of the reaction and drones and whatnot, but why is, like, Terran seem to be so foolproof against, like, weird stuff? We had trouble with the proxy hatch for, like a couple of weeks, but then that died off, so oh well. Anyways, this is cool. He's actually transferring a lot of drones. So this is just I was wondering if it's gonna be that spine color rush like you said, but that would only be like 3 drones. Or maybe it still is, and he's just gonna mine off the gold base. This looks like it's natural. It's a natural, no big deal.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Overgrowth games, right? Where you would have that creep push with the spine crawlers, and it gets kind of out of hand very quickly. But this
what's kind of silly is that if you took the other gold base, would that even be scouted?
Oh, I think you'd still see the creep. I think you'd still see the creep.
Okay.
He's checking though. He wants to make sure there was no double gold expand. That little move with the probe, that is such a, like, goddammit Catz move right there, is what that was.
Yeah.
But the reason I think this is kind of cool is because on one hand, he could knock down the rocks. And that's kind of whatever. But if he knocks down these rocks and then uses roaches to knock down these rocks, like, I love that State put a pylon back here right away. There's no chance he gets caught off guard by this.
This, you break down the rocks and you break down these rocks and rocks on rocks. Oh, is he gonna do the same thing that he did against Jon Snow? It's like, no, wait. He might still go for a Dark Shrine, but it's not the exact same thing he did against Jon Snow. Like, Jon Snow went for an actual expand, like, got a lot of probes and got a forge, and then eventually went to that Twilight Council, but...
Just a quick little request, guys. We got a lot of really gross copy pasta and disgusting dank memes going in chat right now. If you could all just do me a favor and Kappa clean it out, that'd be great.
Interesting request.
It's like the one time Kappa's will be good because it'll spam all the copy pasta out of chat, right?
Nice.
Well, interesting. It's actually State who's going to knock down the rocks. Catz doesn't want this to happen. Of course, he wants to wait for his to walk through, but
he
does take the
takes
second
the
goal.
other gold base.
There's actually, it's funny. There was a game, again, I think this was one of the Elima Leagues you missed, Yanghua versus True in the finals of a best of 7, and it was on Foxtrot Labs, and True actually managed to take both gold bases versus the Protoss player back then as well, but actually was never able to win the game through it. Like, it was just a hell of a lot of Lings that never got anything done because, well, it's Lings versus Sentries and stuff. So Catz has 2 gold bases, and this is cool, but this doesn't automatically mean good. There's a chance that Catz might make a lot of silly stuff behind this, or overinvest in spine crawlers or something crazy, maybe too many queens, and something like this Dark Shrine might actually catch him off guard because, well, he is going to have a lair, there might not be Overseer coverage everywhere. In fact, he's got the middle of the map basically as his main. Like, it's not one base as his main, the middle of the map is his main.
He did scout the Twilight Council and that it was getting Blink. So he might either underreact and say it's only Blink, or he might realize that Dark Shrine could be a follow-up and get maybe 1 or 2 emergency overseers. Because his layer is actually kind of, well, it's actually really well timed, so we'll have that possibility.
Well, we got the Spine Crawlers working away at these rocks. I mean, a big part of why State knocked this down was to buy himself time. He knew that Catz wouldn't be able to spread creep south, he wouldn't be able to move the Spine Crawlers down and start harassing the wall up until he had some units to actually fight with. And there we go. We got some Stalkers out, we got some more Gateway production coming the main, again, the Dark Shrine to the side. But I am curious on Catz's choice too, if he was going to break down rocks, why these ones instead of, say, these ones.
It looks to be a Blinkstalker Archon all-in, which, again, kind of cool. A little more different, although it already is a different PvZ universe, too.
He'll deny some mining. Oh, wait, just kidding.
Oh, let me explore my other gold base. Let's go rich person.
Yeah, this is Catz is the one. He's like he's the rich fat Catz, if you will. He's got the top hat on and the monocle, just like.
Good play on words. Catz severely supply blocked at a time that Tate's about to go ahead and like all his gateways are gonna get finished. He's gonna push. Like, I hope this doesn't really affect him too badly.
I really want to see these DTs come into effect. They are gonna hit before an Overseer's done, so this hatchery will die. There's not enough time. Three Dark Temple have just too much damage. But, of course, with the layer finish, he does start some Overseers pretty quickly. So, banning the ship on 1 gold base, not so bad. He does have a Dark Temple coming back at home, though.
Looks like he didn't react, not expecting that Dark Shrine. Despite seeing the Twilight Console, which is fine. I guess this blocks off one of the thirds with creep spread, and he has the other third covered with a Ling. So, Catz knows that something should be on the way. Like a bigger attack than just DTs.
I am a little bit worried for what Catz can do. He's got crazy map control because of the creep spread, but can he deal with... I mean, the Blink Stalkers are kind of whatever, but it's when it's mixed with the Dark Templar, this gets bad, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's hitting a Robo and +2 behind it, so is he going to expand while just kind of pressuring off the back of a lot of gateways? It's 8 gateways. It seems like an awful lot not to be an all-in. Okay. Oh, he's just gonna bypass everything.
I mean, it's one way to get around the army, sure. The problem is,
get off the spread.
It's such a low army count of Stalkers, though, so the damage potential here I don't think is that great. +2 is on the way, which is really good for him, but Hydralisks are out. It's not like he's fighting Roaches and slow Lings, it's Hydralisks and, well, whatever else he wants.
Getting that Observer. He's trying to get a few more probes, too. Cool. Finds another position to abuse the gold base. I kind of like the way that State is handling the gold base.
Oh, Catz had just gone around to intercept too. That blink to the high ground is dirty. Catz now left with what is barely 1 base. He is trying to retake the other gold, but while this fight rages on, yeah, the refill goes off, and he doesn't quite get the Mothership Core. Really low, though.
Really nice. But now, of course, Catz does have a very scary army that Blink Stalkers, especially in like a choked off position. They may not play that well in this game, but the Claw's thrown away. +2 is about to finish. And Catz retaking that gold piece. He said,
DT back in the main. Where is that Overseer? He must have accidentally grabbed the whole army move type thing because he's got all the Overseers on the wrong side of the map. Oh, he's bleeding on so many drones.
Down to 24 drones. So many drones. Like, that's not even enough if you have a gold base. Usually you could be on a less drone count, but
yeah,
that's only 1 base saturation.
I feel like Catz got rock blocked is kind of like the story of this game. He had a really cool tactic set up, and if State had not been able to knock down that rock tower, then this probably would have been spiraled with the Spine Crawlers down here, and the gateways would have never been able to produce anything, and there would never be this pressure on the map for Catz to deal with. So I applaud the attempts of Catz. I thought this was a really cool tactic for him to choose, but as we've seen, it's simply not cutting it.
Well, I think that State's choice to go for a Blink Stalker attack is the best that I've seen.
That combined with the DTs, I mean, seriously, he's killed so many drones.
Yeah, the DT certainly did help, but it was really the Blink Stalkers being able to abuse those cliff ledges where, I mean, you gotta consider, like, okay, I'm taking a cliff ledge, you gotta be a little careful, but you never consider, like, you know, not only getting denied mining on 1 base, but then wrapping around and getting the second hatchery. Yeah. You gotta figure that second part wasn't ever going to happen with the creep spread, but it did. So Catz was down just 1 base for a time. He's back up to almost 3.
Yeah, but he's got no upgrades right now is what's really worrisome. You know, Colossus are on the way. There's not going to be a Hive Tech, Viper Pole. There's not even a Spire for Corruptors. I mean, I don't know how he deals with what State has, to be honest. Double gold bases are good for money, that's sure, but time is what he needs more than minerals, I think.
Maybe going to Swarm Hosts?
Nice counterattack set up by State, too. Zealots will go to the main. There's so many Queens, though, Transfuses. If Cass isn't distracted, I think with the Transfuse and the Spine Crawler, he holds against the Zealots without taking too much damage.
Okay, that was really awkward.
Yes, it was. Hello, excuse me. Come through.
You know, Catz, he no longer has a decent or even like a really good army, to be honest, with the Colossus now coming out, with the range on the way as well. Like, definitely don't go up a ramp, and even without the ramp, I think that's a better army. And the army supply says so, and like you pointed out, better upgrades. Catz is just
struggling.
It looked like such a cool move, but I think they got kind of outplayed in this game.
Yeah, I kind of hate saying it like that, but that is probably the best way to describe it. State recognized what the situation was and made the right moves to react. He didn't underreact, he didn't freak out, he didn't panic. You know, the pylon at the back to keep an eye on his back door the entire time. Rock blocks, man. Rock blocks. I wish one of these players was blue so I could start making some jokes, but we do have the Stalker starting to advance forward. And with the Zealot wall that'll be in front of this, they do have charge, mind you. They're going to actually be able to connect to this army.
This army is just so huge. There's a chance that I guess Catz gets some type of like wraparound as he gets in this little weird like split edge place. I don't know how to explain the middle of this map. It's weird because you usually don't have to. Usually the engagements don't happen in the middle of the map.
These Zealot run-bys have been so painful to deal with. I kind of pressed the question of wondering like why Catz never tried to take his normal natural at some point, but he does manage to slip some links by, as I guess he did manage to take down one of the gateways where State had to kill to get the Colossus out, rather. I don't know if this link run-by is going to be enough. He'll kill some probes, which is cool, but it's not like State needs an economy. He's already 2 base all in.
Yeah, well, his army's just already just way, way too powerful.
Yeah. Ling's attempting to connect to the Colossus. It's sad to look at.
You know, if Catz can get State to just be a little too, I don't know, this way and that, you know, maybe he'll catch chunks of the army that are very important.
I don't you're right, but I don't think that'll happen. He's even struggling to get top of Colossus back here at home. He will kill this one, which is nice, but DT's heading towards the main. That Overseer was pulled once again, so there's a lot of defense, but there's nothing that can see these Dark Templar.
Wow. One Overseer, which is so much just over the base. Like,
I mean, I want to say this is a base trade, but the recall is what's going to save State. Catz kills the natural base, and I guess both players have kind of had their economy gutted. No one has any money to make anything. But I think Catz still just loses out mostly to these DTs. He's already lost all the roaches and queens, and, well, anything that could have defended this. It's just drones. It's babies.
It's babies.
All right, game number 1 of the winners match will go to State.